Hey guys, welcome back to my second channel. Make sure you subscribe to both. So today's video is going to be a very personal one. Today's video is one that we have tried to film already that we had to stop because it was just a moment.
It's a heavy video. This is hard to film.
It's very personal.
Yo.
But we both had the idea to do this because relationships are just hard, and whether it's with a fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, family member, or just friendships, you know, they're hard, and you go through speed bumps and you go through bad spots. And we wanted to talk about like a really bad spot we were in for maybe 2.5 months or so, recently, from like September to like November.
We're keeping it real today, folks.
Yeah,
This is a lot, and it's hard for me to kind of get in front of a camera and talk about things like this personal. Blaire does it all the time, and
but not even this personal. Like, we started filming it and then we realized we had said a little too much, so we're kind of putting it back but still keeping the message.
Yes.
Joey and I got engaged in June 2018, have been together for a year since then. So at this point, it's been about 1.5 years of us being engaged, minus a stint. Minus a little bit of a stint where we were not engaged, where I called off the engagement.
She did.
And that's what we're talking about. There was a moment there where people were asking me, like, why aren't you wearing your ring? Are you still with Joey? Are things okay? Why hasn't Joey been in a lot of videos?
Show him the ring, baby. Bang.
The ring's on. Things are better now. We're in a very good place. That's why we can talk about this. So
back off, boys. She's taken.
So this really bad rough spot we were in was about from September to November, and we kind of came to a realization that alcohol was and is kind of not good for our relationship, and specifically not good for Joey.
Nope.
My birthday in September, we went to San Francisco with JC and our friend Elliot, and there was a fan meetup, and then we went bar hopping afterwards, and that was kind of like part one of, like, just being honest. Alcohol played a really bad role, and you, like, had some really bad behavior that really upset me.
I didn't, like, hit her or anything. I'm not defending myself. I didn't do anything crazy. There was nothing like that.
Nothing like that, but it was really, really bad.
It was bad.
It ruined the trip, and we had to come home early, and my birthday was ruined. Like, literally, that's just what happened. Just being honest. Next year will be better, I hope.
I feel so bad about it. I went to a therapist, and
we went to couples therapy. But we left San Francisco, and we left my birthday, and you know, I was still really upset about it, that my birthday trip was cut short and whatever, but I was willing to sort of, like, move on from it. After a few days, I was like, you know what, it's just a bad moment. Like, I just want peace and I want harmony. I'm getting over it. So the next weekend, should we just can we even name who we were with? Like, we might as well. We were with Jacqueline Glenn and Jacqueline's now fiance, David. Everyone's engaged over here. And we went to the club. Things were just, this night was the worst. This was one of the worst nights of really my life, and the worst night of our relationship, for real.
For real.
Things were 10 times even worse than the birthday, and it was because of alcohol, and it was because of what we've come to realize is that Joey doesn't really,
I don't know when to stop.
He doesn't know when to stop, and I think sometimes you also anxiety drink a little bit. Sometimes I feel like if you're with, like, my friends and it's like my thing, that sometimes I
just don't know what to do, like, with my hands. I just drink and drink and drink and just take shots, and then before I know it, I'm like blackout. And I gotta manage myself. I'm a man, like, so it's just.
But it's not even just that. It's also that you're like 0 to 100. Like, some people, like with JC, I can kind of see, like, okay, that third drink was a bit much and you're getting a little crazy, but if we calm down now, you'll be fine. With you don't really act drunk until something really bad happens.
Like I don't show signs of being drunk?
You act completely normal, and then all of a sudden it just spikes, and then all of a sudden it's a really bad, ugly moment, and these moments happened in public, which were super bad. Jacqueline and David were there. There was a moment where you got in an altercation with 2 people on the street. I was there. I was terrified. Things got really, really ugly between you and I couldn't see myself continuing. And it's so sad because I love you so much, and we're, again, such in a good place now, but I couldn't see us continuing being engaged. Like, I couldn't see us working towards marriage, which inevitably means kids for me. you know, if this was a problem that I felt like you weren't recognizing. Because each time after these drunken outbursts, and you know,
I kind of brushed it off. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God, I got so drunk.
because
like,
you also want peace and harmony.
we think so differently sometimes too. It's like our lives are so intertwined, and we have the same goals and everything. But like, whereas I could wake up and be like, man, can you believe last night me fighting those guys? And it's just we just. Like, I'm over it, while you're like, holy shit, this guy's crazy.
Right. Because also, I don't feel like you remember it to the extent that I do either. Because
No.
I never get as drunk as you. So certain moments, I feel
she
like,
doesn't.
And when you see someone in a light that is ugly, and when you see someone in a light that is toxic like that, it's hard to unsee it. So we wake up the next day, and you're sober, and I'm sober now, but I remember everything. And I remember seeing you that way, and it's hard to unsee it.
It's just like a drunk, gross mess. It's awful.
It's just really
I'm
bad.
sorry. I'm really sorry.
No, I know. You don't have to say sorry now. We're moving on and upwards.
But I am very sorry about all of it.
But basically, because of that, I called off the engagement. We started going to therapy, and we said, and there was a point where we really didn't know if we were gonna get engaged again. Like, I remember you saying something like you couldn't really even see us being together, like, again through Thanksgiving.
I couldn't even imagine us eating Thanksgiving together.
Yeah,
it was like
before Thanksgiving.
We were like so day to day because of those nights, like compounded, like just.
And it was a struggle for me. I told you that we would be together in that way again if you committed to not drinking.
And I wasn't drinking.
And if you committed to therapy, and you did both. But there was also a rocky moment where, you sat back a little bit, and you maybe didn't want to go to therapy, and
I did give
a
little pushback.
You felt like you could drink.
Yeah.
And that was what really freaked me out. And then I exhibited really bad behavior within myself. It is not all Joey, because you only react to things in the way that you allow yourself to react to. I lashed out in really ugly ways. I did things that are really bad. And we just got to a point where, like, things were really bad. And it's sad because, now we're at a place where we remember what we had before those few months. And it's scary to know that things can get that bad that fast. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm the one that screwed up, so I feel so bad. So I'm thinking about, like, our whole past, and like how much I love her, and how much it means to me, or how much she means to me. And like, it's just like, I'm driving home from work, like, she doesn't want to talk to me in the car. All I could think about was her, and like how much she means to me. And it's just like, because I can't, man, I'm sorry, I'm like about to cry.
Oh,
I'm
don't
like,
cry. It's really bad. And honestly, the point of that is just to say, like, you can work through things if it's worth fixing. Like, our relationship, it was worth fixing because we do have something so special. We are very close. No one understands me like on a whole other level. No one understands me like you do. Like,
you guys
not
don't
one
want to
person.
know. She's a giant baby in real life.
No one understands me like Joey does. We work together. He edits like all of my videos. We share editing, but we both work on them. Like, so you're part of, like, just so much of my life, and we've built, a story online with you guys to where, like, people have become very invested in us as well.
I've never been engaged before. I've
Same.
never liked anybody enough to make that leap with, and Blaire has always been the goal for me. Like, always. Like,
but that's another really good point, is that, like, neither of us have been engaged before. I felt like we fell in love very fast.
Mm-hmm.
We were not friends before falling in love. We didn't know each other. It was so fast. Mm-hmm. And my life has changed so much since we first met. I'm a completely different person.
Me too.
So are you.
Me too. I'm
so
totally
are
different.
You.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like everyone's picture perfect image of what an engagement and then a marriage and relationship is like, you fall in love, then you get engaged, and then you're married 2 months later, and then it's like, sometimes people need time to, like, iron out the kinks and understand each other, and we had to really learn about each other. And it's even harder to learn about each other when you're changing so much. Like, my career, my life, and everything has changed. It's done not a 180, but, like, it's changed a lot. I personally believe in long engagements. Some people message me like, why has it been so long that you've been engaged? Like, when's the wedding? Are you planning? And it's like, honestly, we had to get through shit. And it's scary to think that we would have maybe not ironed out this problem with alcohol and substances and learning each other's boundaries. Mm-hmm. What if that have happened when we were married? Ugh. What if that would have happened when we had kids in the mix?
Yeah.
Like, I believe in using engagements to iron out the problems that are inevitably going to be magnified once you're married.
And we love each other. And
we had to go through that. We really did. We really did.
We really did need that. In fact, I feel like we've never been stronger, honestly.
No,
Like,
yeah, things are a lot better now.
yeah, it's important to go through these things, and honestly, doing this has made me like honest. I've fixed a lot about myself through this whole process as well.
So the point of this video, it's not about drama or anything like that. It's just to maybe help other couples or people in turmoil with their other relationships, friends, family, that like if it's worth fixing and you recognize it's worth fixing, you can fix it. With dedication though. Like Joey had to be dedicated to not drinking. Like, all right guys, so that is all. That is the story time how we were not engaged and now we are again. And the story of how you can fix your relationships if it's worth fixing. Bye guys.